Okay guys, welcome to another episode of Attack of the Clones, and this week we're taking a look at Frogger games on the C64. Now, kicking things off is a game called Amphibian. How do we start? Let's press the fire button to begin play. Right, why is it not wanting to start? Come on, is it going to start? Oh, there we go, there we go. It's quite incredible when you listen to the music in this game that the very same computer can do stuff like Monty on the Run. That's what early music was like. It was bloody awful. So yes, it's slightly different from the arcade version of Frogger. Big chunky single coloured sprites. And a chap, he's on a motorbike or something, driving along the pavement, possibly. I mean, seriously, what was the guy thinking with that music? It just sounds like a series of random plinky plonky notes. Awful. The movement of the frog's not too bad. It actually looks like it's jumping, so we'll give it 1 point out of 10 for that, but that is pretty damned woeful. It almost looks like it's in basic. That is Amphibian. Right, next one is called Crack Crack. And it's not what you think it is. It's a Frogger clone. Now, I like the animation. I like his big toes. That's quite clever. What on earth is that you're trying to jump on? Do you jump on these or you have to avoid them? Right, okay, so I'm trying to figure out what the hell these are. They look like little purple angels or something. Quick! Crack, crack, punt. What on earth is punt? Is that... Ah, right, I'm thinking this is in Spanish. Grado 1 bonus Rana. Ah, there's a game called Ranarama, which has got a frog in it. So I wonder if Rana is Spanish for frog. If anybody knows that, let me know. It's always a giant frog because the frog is bigger than the cars. When you compare to the last game, the graphics are actually not too bad and they're a lot smaller looking. That's actually alright. We'll give it 2 out of 10. That one was Crack Crack. The next one is called Freeway. Now this is actually a later game. I think, did that say 1989? I've heard that music before. Is that a classical piece of music? I'm guessing it must be. I've certainly heard it in another Commodore 64 game. Yeah, this is definitely more faithful to the original arcade one. Traffic and then logs. We've even got motorbikes. Or could it be guys on bikes? We shall never know. It's pretty tough. The cars at the bottom are just going too fast. I will try again. Almost. Actually, when you look at the graphics of these games, Frogger was actually quite a simplistic game, so really there's no reason why it couldn't do a good version. Right, come on, let's get one guy in. I didn't even catch you actually wrote this game. Come on, this time. Way! That looks nothing like a frog in the top left there. It's quite sluggish, the controls. There's a bit of delay from actually moving it to him actually responding. Ah, dearie me. Anyway, that is Freeway. Right, next one is called Frog 64. Now this is by Tony Crowther, published by Alligator Software, so I'm thinking this one's going to be not bad because Tony Crowther is obviously a great programmer. Though this was probably one of his earliest games, so we'll see. There's certainly a lot going on there. I mean, you can see there, just it looks a lot better, it's quick. Yeah, this is probably the most faithful one so far out of the, is it 4 I think we've looked at so far? Let's go again. The traffic's going so quick, it's just you're trying to find a space. But it's precise, the movement, it responds well. I don't know what happened here. Can he glitched for a second and can he jumped? I like the frog sprite, it actually looks very frog-like. Ah, damn it. Right, one more go. One more go, I want to get at least one frog across. Oof, that's difficult. And you've got the wee snake moving up and down in the path in the middle of the road. Normally you get him sort of the second or third level into the arcade one. Right, I don't think it's to be, but that's not bad. That's Frog 64, if slightly difficult, sorry. The next one is called Frog Run 64, and that's by Jeff. Oh dearie me. Now I'm thinking, looking at the speed of the game, this has got to be in basic. It actually reminds me of like a Vic 20 game. Got the what do you call it? You've got the snake and the path. You've got the crocodiles appearing at the wee kind of windows at the top, or the windows, what are they, homes, burrows? I don't know what we call them. I don't know what's going on with the colours though, they're horrible. I don't know what's going on with the colours though, they're horrible. I mean, why are the turtles red and the crocodiles red? I mean, do they not know that the Commodore 64 has about 10 different shades of brown? Hey! It's difficult to know how you could possibly mess up. A game of Frogger. I mean, it's quite a simplistic game, you know. I noticed this one is very true to the arcade. When you die, when you kind of get splatted, that's exactly what it looks like in the arcade. Right, that was Frog Run, and that was by Analog Software. Right, next one. This is actually an official clone. This is Frogger, and this was released by Parker Brothers. Now, right away you can see it is rather tasty looking. See, even got quite authentic sound. It responds really well. You can see there the turtles dive as well. I think that's the first version we've played. And it's got the little female frog which you've got to accompany across the road. Or across the river, I should say. One thing that's always strange about Frogger, if he's a frog, yet if he falls in the river he dies, so he's obviously not a particularly good frog. Ooh, that was close. Thing about making these videos when you're looking at so many versions of the same game, you start to run out of things to talk about because they're all basically the same. But sprites in this, the graphics in this one are really good. And the key thing for this game is sort of responsive control. And that one definitely has it. So that is excellent. That is the official Frogger, and that was by Parker Brothers. Right, next one is called Frogger, and this was by a company called Your64, and it has got the tiniest frog ever, with what I can only assume are large trucks moving at a snail's pace. Now, how can I get this thing to move? It doesn't want to move. I'm absolutely guarantee that this game is written in BASIC. Right, I can't get it to move at all. Got no idea what's going on here. Yeah, I think this, you know what, I think because it's by Ur64, I'm assuming that this was a type-in game. You can see there are 7 lorries and 1 frog, so that'll be 8 sprites. Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't move in that one. Right, next one. This is actually this is the second game that I ever owned. This is Frogger 64 by Interceptor Software. I bought this and I bought Crazy Kong with my Commodore 64. Crazy Kong was awful, but this was actually pretty good. It looks good and it plays really well as well. And being able to get a game like this on a TV was just like, wow, you know, here's it was like bringing an arcade game home. It's quite twitchy, the control. You've got to kind of make sure you push it forward properly to move. Sometimes it doesn't always respond, but don't know why that would be, because the digital joystick is either going to be on or off, so I don't know why it would sometimes not respond. But yeah, that's an excellent version. It's, you know, it's got the look of the arcade, and it plays really well as well, which is an important thing. So that is Frogger 64, and that was by Interceptor. Now, this next one is called Frogger 93. Now, I can only assume it was written in 1983, not 1983, 1993, I beg your pardon. So you can see there it's got a completely different look from the other versions. I'm not too keen on the sort of texture of the logs and that kind of stuff, but again, it's very responsive, which is what you need for a game like this. There doesn't appear to be any trucks in this one, it's all just cars, some with keys on them. I don't know what that is, I'm guessing. That could well be the programmer or something, I don't know. But it looks the part. It's certainly playable. They've almost tried to improve it too much. The arcade one looks like an arcade game, whereas they've tried to almost make the logs look realistic, which isn't always a good thing. You don't always want graphics to look realistic, but anyway, that's not bad. Right, next one is, this is called Frogger Arcade. Now this is not the arcade version. This was a new release. It only came out last year, I think it was, on the Commodore 64. And I actually did a video. In fact, what I'll do is I'll put a wee link up above. I actually compared this with the arcade, and what I did was I actually had this game running at the same time as the arcade one, and what was uncanny was just how realistic it looks. Even the timing in the game, when I completed the level in this, it was almost identical to the arcade one. So if you want to watch that, click on the wee link up above and you'll see the video. It's a really, really faithful conversion. You just wonder why they couldn't have made a version like this back in 1984. Obviously they had the programming tools, but I suppose nowadays, you know, there's just so much more information out there, programming techniques and that kind of stuff. So, you know, that's why we're getting games and demos now that previously we thought were impossible to make. But you know, this one you're looking at is without doubt the finest conversion of Frogger on the Commodore 64. You couldn't get any better. you know, without changing the formula of the original game. As far as authenticity, this game is right up there. So yeah, that is Frogger Arcade. You can download it, just do a quick Google and you'll find it. So yep, next one is called Frogger and it's by a company called Copland Software. Right, there doesn't appear to be any sound in this one. This is what I would expect it to look like on the Atari 2600. Yes, I've never seen. That's like the M8 motorway on a Friday night. So many cars. I wonder how long it took them to do the graphics of this game. And one thing you can notice here is that the perspective is wrong in the logs. You can see the end. What the hell? Oh, that's a tiny miniature little crocodile at the top. Yeah, you can see the end of the log on both sides. Now you wouldn't technically, if you're looking at it from above, you would only get to see the end of one. But yeah, I'm assuming that is in BASIC. And I think that is a snake or a bolt of lightning, something like that, that's moving across the centre of the screen. So anyway, yeah, that is Frogger Copland Software, I think I called it. Right, next one, this is another game called Frogger, and this is CVG. Now, this could possibly have been a type-in, I'm guessing it probably is. He looks like an extremely overweight frog. Again, oddly, there doesn't appear to be any sound. Quite safe for I'm guessing this is a type-in game. It actually looks not bad. It's got decent kind of graphics. Yeah, there's no animation to speak of on the frog itself, but it's got the general feel. See there, the logs, you can only see the end of one side because that's what it would be like in real life. So they obviously hadn't paid too much attention in that last one. All your frogs are dead. Yeah, I'm guessing that's a type-in, and to be fair, it's not bad at all for a basic game. Nah, that's not true, Alan. It's not rubbish. Right, next one is called Frogger. Now this was published by Sierra Vision. In fact, I think this is actually, this was it was an official release, I think, in America, because it was actually published by, it was programmed, I believe, by Sega and published by Sierra Online. So I think this is kind of an official version. And it's got the same music. And graphically it's pretty damn good as well. Yankee Doodle Dandy, I don't remember that being an arcade one. One thing I noticed when I was making this compilation, there was quite a few games, and this being one of them, versions where they were released under different names. It was actually the same game, but they just changed the name, so don't know what was going on there, but that was Frogger. This next one is called Froggy 64. Now this is one of the games that was on the Cascade 50 tape, which is an infamous game. Well, it wasn't a game, it was a tape. You got 50 games and you also got a free calculator watch. Now apparently the games, basically any kid that sent a game in, they included the game. You know, I don't think they play tested them at all, so this game was most definitely written in BASIC. I don't know what's going on there. You've got the grass is moving as well. It's also got what looks like a bird at the top, a red bird, is that? You look absolutely nothing like a frog either. Hooray! And it's got one of the most annoying sound effects ever. So just for that, I'm going to make you suffer it once more if I can. Or maybe not. I don't know what would make you switch off quicker, the graphics or that annoying sound. Yeah, it's not really Frogger, you've just basically got to avoid everything, so... Here we go. Yes, that one is not the best. That is by Cascade. Like, this next one is called Frogs in Space. Right, okay. I don't know when this looks a slightly more modern version. Yeah, man, that sprite, if I'm not mistaken, that sprite is taken from the Frogger 64 game by Interceptor Software. I think there's a lot of plagiarism went on back in the 8-bit era, people copying sprites and sound effects and whatnot. I remember Jeff Minter wrote a really good font for, it was a Grid Runner or Matrix, and other companies started ripping it off and using it. That was something that definitely went on a lot. We'll go for this once more. Yeah, it doesn't really work for me. I don't even know what I'm supposed to land on. Have I got to avoid everything? No, I've got to land on, I don't know what these are, barrels or something. Yeah, companies thought that by changing things would make it more interesting, but it actually has the opposite effect. You want to play a game, you know, the authentic version. You don't want a in space version. Right, we may as well get the full house. It's also very, very easy, and not in a good way. It's actually quite dull. Yes, that is Frogs in Space. I'm not overly keen on that one. Oh, here we go, we've got different graphics. Nah, stick to the normal graphics, guys, I think. Right, next one is called Grab It by Alternative Software. It's a somewhat reduced kind of gameplay area. Not quite so many cars and that kind of stuff. It's not a bad thing. I mean, it's nice and smooth. I think it's probably easier than other versions. I think just because there's less, everything's that bit bigger looking. I think this was a budget game. I'm assuming this game came out when people weren't wanting to play Frogger. People were wanting to play more modern looking games. But anyway, it's not a bad wee version. It's certainly playable enough, and it looks like Frogger. So yeah, that is a game over. Right, next one up, we have a game called It's Highway. Level 1. Is that the sprite down the bottom? Surely not. I think we could class this one as the minimalist version. Is that using computer defined graphics or something? Yeah, it's like it's almost like a dreamlike sequence of Frogger. Or if you imagine Frogger meets Tron, I think this is what it would look like. There doesn't appear to be any bits you've got to jump into. I think you just need to get to the other side of the screen. Again, if I wasn't mistaken, I would think this game was written. I'm on level 3 now. I would think this game. Wow. Yeah, it's a Frogger in the very loosest sense of the word, I would think. Yeah, if I wasn't mistaken, I would say that game was probably written in BASIC. But I might be wrong. Anyway, that is Highway. Next up is Jumpin' Jack. Not Jumping, Jumpin'. Now, I love this version. This a company called Livewire, who didn't actually make many games. I did do a They Did What video way back. They didn't do many games, but the games that they did make were always very, very impressive. Especially graphically, they always look great. Yeah, I think this graphically is probably the nicest looking one. Yeah, it's not technically true to the arcade because it's, you know, it's using a sort of a pseudo 3D kind of look to it. But it plays really well, considering it looks as nice as it does. It actually plays really well, and it's got really nice music. This was my go-to version of Frogger. I like the way the wee dragonfly flaps its wings. It actually looks quite real. Yeah, if you've never played this version before, I strongly suggest you try it out. It's really playable, and graphics look excellent. Yeah, oddly the music doesn't actually annoy me. I actually quite enjoy the music. It helps to kind of drive the game along. Right, let's try and get one last frog in, and then we'll crack on to the next one. Ah, bugger. Anyway, that is Jumpin' Jack, and that is by Livewire. That's a great version. Right, this next one, what is this called? Is it Load and Run? Oh, it's called La Rana. Yeah, I was mentioning about Rana. That must be Spanish or Italian for frog. So who says video games don't teach anything? Right, this is quite interesting. It looks like you're actually underwater to begin with. You can see the little air bubbles. Right, yeah, okay, so you've got to get to the surface. Is that a crocodile or a turtle? I think that's a crocodile, the green thing. So it's a take on Frogger, but they've sort of changed it around slightly. Right, where am I? Alright, okay, I'm on that log at the bottom. You've got a little happy whale passing by at the top, and you've also got a boat with her pulling a little safety thing. Right, can I jump on the back of these frogs? I certainly can. And we've got some hippos as well. Right, okay, you can't land on top of whales. So anyway, that is La Rana. Right, this next one is called Leaper. It's the first time I've seen a vector graphic looking Frogger game. Look at the cars. Is that it? That surely can't be it. Please tell me that's not it. Right, okay guys, could you not have sped the bonus score up a wee bit? Oh, right, okay, so you get a score when you get to the middle. Right, now this is moving too slow. I think it's safe to say this one is definitely in basic. Come on, where's the other bloody log? Alright, it's the turtle, or the turtles I should say. And you can see it moves so slow. The C64 basic was never the best. instead of controlling a frog, you're controlling what looks like, I don't know. I don't know what it looks more like, a space invade. It looks more like one of their baddies in Galaxian actually. Right, where did I go to get home? I need to leap on that log, but it's going too slow. I'm going to run out of space. Right, so you basically leap into a bit that says home, and you've got to wait and the score going up. Could it not have just automatically added it on? Do we have to sit through this part? Anyway, that is Leaper, that is woeful. This is Logger. And it looks like you're getting chased by a giant turd. My goodness, if you suffer from epilepsy, look away now. These logs at the top would certainly do your eyes in. Ah, right, okay, so when you go on a log, when you leap from the grass to the log, and then you go backwards, you die. So you can't go back onto the grass. Why is that? Yeah, you die, right, so you can only keep going forwards. Honest to goodness, people complain about games now. Look at some of the shite that we had to play back in the day. I'm absolutely determined to get this guy across the road. I mean, the road part isn't a challenge at all, it's the river part. No animation to speak of when the little character, come on, get in there, get in there. Come on, up. This time. Did I do it? Who knows? Anyway, that's Logger. Right, next one. This is called Look Both Ways. You've obviously got to try and cross the road and not die. Did I do it? I've got no idea. Where do you actually go? I assume I got in. There's a complete lack of sound as well, you notice. Look Both Ways by Joseph Sweely. I wonder if he ever went on to anything bigger than this. Oh, hey, we've got a sound. Level 2. Yeah, obviously Frogger was a thing when these systems first came out, so there was a lot of, basic versions. Yeah, that is Look Both Ways. Right, next one is called Mad Monkey. I don't know what that is. There's something run about with a spear. You've got cars, you've got lions, and why is this screen only? Why does the gameplay only take up 1/3 of the screen? Well, it doesn't actually. I think the title moves down the further on you get. I can understand why he's mad. You should possibly rename it Pissed Off Monkey. Yes, there were certainly some good versions of Frogger, and there was more than a fair share of stinkers. The whole thing with the title bit, and the titles at the bottom moving as well, that was just completely throw you. I don't don't know what that is. That's sand or something? At least we've got a full playing area. That's a start. Right, I've got no idea what happened there. Anyway, that is absolutely woeful. That is Mad Monkey. I don't blame him. Right, next one is called Moonbug. Published in 1982. Well, I've got to say, for an early 1982 game that obviously looks like it's programmed in BASIC, the graphics aren't too bad. Where did I go? Did I go up here? Did I get a point? Yeah, I did. Whoa, now we've got to avoid some huge boulders. So I think we could class this as a very basic Frogger. Right, I didn't actually get any points here, so I must have fallen down a hole or something. It's not entirely obvious. Anyway, that is pretty woeful, but again, it's in BASIC, so what do you expect? That is Moonbug. This next one is called Pedestrian. I have never seen so many moving things in one game ever. I mean, what is there not? We've got cars, we've got lorries, we've got bugs. I mean, I don't know what some of these things are. We've got snakes, logs, we've got turtles, you name it, it's there. That noise. That was another one of these noises that seemed to appear in every early Commodore 64 game. And we've got a Space Invader soundtrack. You've got the whole cross, which used to afflict every single game back in the day. Yes, that is Pedestrian. It's quite an apt name. Next one is called Penguins. Right, so you're playing the part of a penguin and you've obviously got to get across to the ice floe on the other side of the screen. I'm assuming this one's possibly programmed in BASIC as well, or maybe not, because it's actually quite fast. I mean, listen to that music, you know, that was post Rob Hubbard, absolutely awful. Right, next one is Princess and the Frog. And you've got guys jousting as well. Obviously they thought they could avoid any copyright claims if they just change cars to guys on horseback with large pointy sticks. But we'll still keep in the crocodiles and the snakes and whatnot. And even the female frogs as well, I notice. No wonder he looks sad. And it's probably got about the biggest score ever. Huge big score in the middle of the screen. Yeah, I'm quite sure that there's probably more Frogger clones that I haven't included in this, but I think I was all Froggered out by the time I got to the end of this video. I'd played quite enough. So anyway, that is the rather woeful Princess and the Frog. Right, this next one is called Rush Hour. Score over 5,000 points. Right, okay, so you apparently play the part of Ernie, and you start at the top of the screen, and he's just been hit with a truck. Have I got to try and pick up the bags of cash? Yeah, I think I do actually. And is that the bank at the bottom possibly? What? What happened there? Have I got to actually go to the bank so I can't just drop down at the bottom and run left? Possibly. And the graphics look like they're all computer defined. I don't know why I died there. Anyway, that is absolutely awful. That is Rush Hour. And the very last one, guys, is called Towed Away. See what they did there. Whoops. That was silly. Yeah, anyway, listen, that is the last version. That is pretty awful. I think it's safe to say there's been more stinkers than good ones, but there's some cracking games. The one without a shadow of doubt, the best one to play is Frogger Arcade, which was quite a new version. But the other one I could definitely recommend is the one by Livewire. But anyway, guys, as usual, I hope you enjoyed watching it. Thanks very much for watching.